The United States of America is ready not only to invade Venezuela to fight drug cartels, but also to actually achieve the overthrow, and possibly even the elimination, of President Nicolas Maduro. Internal White House and Pentagon documents now held by American journalists show this. As reported by the New York Times, Donald Trump's administration developed several plans for a military operation against Venezuela, up to and including the elimination of its leader Nicolas Maduro. At the same time, the United States Department of Justice is preparing a legal justification for such actions, so that no one can accuse the United States of declaring war or of eliminating a national leader. Reportedly, Trump is not rushing to make decisions and would not want to put American soldiers at risk, but he likes the idea. He likes the idea of gaining control over Venezuela's oil fields. And this is cited as one of the reasons why the United States started all these operations against Venezuela in the first place. My name is Alexei Pichi. Let's discuss this topic together, but before we start, I ask you to subscribe to this channel, give it a like, and write any detailed comment under this video. Also, subscribe to my Telegram channel, Peachy News. The link is in the description of this video. There we publish up-to-date news. If you want to support the work of this YouTube channel, you can do so with any donation or a paid sponsorship subscription. You can do this using the links and details in the description of this video. It says there, support the Alexei Pichi channel. Choose any format that's convenient for you. I will be grateful for any support you give. So, as the New York Times writes, the Trump administration developed a number of military action options in Venezuela, including direct attacks on the military. These are the country's units that protect President Nicolas Maduro, as well as steps to seize control over the country's oil fields. Trump's aides turned to the United States Department of Justice for additional clarifications that could provide a legal basis for any military actions. In addition to the ongoing campaign of striking vessels that Trump believes are transporting drugs. Such clarifications could include legal grounds for attacking Nicolas Maduro personally, which would not require congressional authorization for the use of military force, let alone a declaration of war. And so, as classified documents revealed, in the plan for invading Venezuela. It would be claimed that Maduro and his top security officials are central figures in the Cartel de los Soles, which the Trump administration recognized as a narco-terrorist organization. Therefore, a legal framework is being prepared that will claim this makes Maduro an absolutely legitimate target. Despite long-standing American legal prohibitions on assassinating national leaders, any attempt to remove Maduro will subject the Trump administration to further scrutiny regarding any legal justifications. Among them are drug trafficking, America's need for access to oil, and Trump's statement that the Venezuelan government sent illegal immigrants and prisoners to the United States. And in recent days, Trump has made a number of contradictory public statements about his intentions, goals, and the justification for any future military actions. And in recent weeks, he has stated that attacks on boats in the Caribbean Sea and the Eastern Pacific Ocean will be expanded and shifted to land targets. But this hasn't happened yet. When asked if the United States is going to go to war with Venezuela, Trump replied on Sunday, "I doubt it. I don't think so, but they treat us very badly." And not just when it comes to drugs. At that time, Trump repeated his claim that Maduro opened his prisons and psychiatric hospitals and sent out gang members. But Maduro responded, "The chances, Iki came out glavort." Are Maduro's days as president of Venezuela numbered? Trump added, "I think so." And it's interesting that, according to aides, Trump repeatedly expressed doubts, partly out of fear of the operation failing. Trump worries it won't work. But at the same time, Trump repeatedly asked what the United States could get in return, paying special attention to extracting some of the value of Venezuelan oil for the United States. Trump most likely won't have to make a decision, at least until Gerald Ford arrives in the Caribbean later this month. This is the largest and newest United States aircraft carrier. On board the Ford, there are more than 5,000 sailors and over 75 strike, reconnaissance and support aircraft, including F-18 fighters. Since the end of August, there has been a steady buildup of American troops in the region, Even before the arrival of the aircraft carrier, there are about 16,000 American military personnel in the Caribbean, with roughly half of them on warships and the other half at bases in Puerto Rico. In recent weeks, the Pentagon has also sent B-52 and B-1 bombers to carry out missions off the coast of Venezuela. I should note here that the B-52 can carry dozens of precision bombs, while the B-1 can carry up to 35 tons of guided and unguided munitions. This is the largest non-nuclear combat payload among all aircraft in the Air Force's arsenal. In addition, the elite 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment of the United States Army, which conducted large-scale counterterrorism helicopter operations in Afghanistan, Iraq, and Syria. Recent exercises off Venezuela's coast, and against this backdrop, Trump was offered three courses of action. The first option involves airstrikes on military facilities, some of which may be involved in drug trafficking. The aim is to strip Maduro of army support by destroying their infrastructure so it won't work for them. If Maduro decides that he is no longer under protection, he might try to flee or, by moving around the country, become more vulnerable to being captured by United States Special Services. But on the other hand, this could also lead to greater unity within the army and for the leader who is in a difficult situation. It's a double-edged sword. The second approach involves the United States sending special forces, such as the Army's Delta Force or Navy Sea, Air and Land Team 6 to capture or kill Nicolas Maduro. Under this option, the Trump administration would try to bypass bans on assassinating foreign leaders by claiming that Maduro is, first and foremost, not the president of a country, but the head of a narco-terrorist gang, since the United States hasn't recognized him as Venezuela's president. The third option involves a much more complex plan to send American counterterrorism forces to seize control of airfields and at least part of Venezuela's oil field infrastructure. Just blatantly seize them. And these last two options carry a much greater risk for American commandos on the ground. Not to mention the civilians, especially if drugs get involved. These military operations could occur, for example, in Caracas. And now sources claim that Trump is focused on Venezuela's huge oil reserves, the largest in the world. What should be done with them? Here's the question: should they stop exporting to the United States or continue? In hopes of maintaining their position in case Maduro is removed, this problem has been troubling the administration for 10 months already, even when Trump doubled the reward for Maduro's capture and called him a narco-terrorist. He revoked, but then extended the license of Chevron, the American oil company that is a pillar of Venezuela's economy. Chevron's current license was revoked in March under pressure from Rubio and others. Venezuelan exports to the United States fell sharply in summer, but the new license, the details of which are kept secret, apparently does not allow the company to simply send currency to Venezuela's banking system. Nevertheless, Chevron's oil exports provide real support to Maduro's economy, which looks very strange. It's also interesting that in the past few months, Maduro has made a desperate attempt to offer Trump oil concessions, including a controlling stake in Venezuelan oil and other minerals. Maduro promised American companies access to current and future oil and gold mining projects, which would receive preferential, simple contracts. Maduro also stated that he would redirect exports that are currently going to China and limit mineral extraction contracts with Chinese, Iranian, and Russian companies. Maduro said, "Listen up, everyone. As for minerals, basically everything that's in the ground, please. We'll make a deal with you about everything. We'll make deals with the Chinese, Iranians, and Russians. I won't work." But in early October, Trump rejected all of Maduro's proposals, and the buildup of military power in the United States accelerated. And this suggests that, after all, the White House is more inclined to remove Nicolas Maduro and still gain control over Venezuela's oil, but in a different way. I'll leave it at that. Share your opinions and conclusions in the comments below this episode, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and don't forget to like. That's all for now. Take care. Goodbye.